here. I'm sure most of you are aware of him or seen him or spoke with him in the past. And he distinguished himself many years ago in Vietnam and risked his life for his comrades in a helicopter crash that was there, and basically lost his arm. And he is a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, and we're going to try to get him on the speakerphone right here.
Hello, everybody can hear this and not figure out the phone line. Hi.
As veterans fit in and progress in our own communities to let them know that we're not a bunch of potheads or a bunch of baby killers. People never realize that we put our time in to the American flag the same way as our forefathers did back in previous conflict. So what people shouldn't do is they should associate the war with the warrior. We're all from at Peacock. We're all proud of what we do. We're all proud of America. And we're going to keep on plugging away, and hopefully with our young people, let them know what it's all about and have better tomorrow. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Well, you guys have a good time today. I'm there in spirit. My heart's there, but my body's kind of falling apart. I'm not cashing in my chips yet. But I tried to push it to the last minute to try and make it up to be with everybody. And my apologies, guys. I'm sorry for getting sick on you. So, you know, be the best you can be. And I'm looking forward to maybe someday down the road where our paths will cross, okay?
I should read his citation here too, because I wasn't going to do that. Just got kind of caught up with the cell phone activity. Specialist, I mean, every time I read a citation for Medal of Honor winners, I just can't believe that people did this. I don't know if I could have done it. Maybe you get put in the right position, you can. Anyway, Specialist 4 Wetzel of the 173rd Division Assault Helicopter Company distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life, above and beyond call of duty. Specialist 4 Wetzel was serving as a door gunner aboard a helicopter which was part of an insertion force trapped in a landing zone by intense and deadly hostile fire. Specialist 4 Wetzel was going to the aid of his aircraft commander when he was blown into a rice paddy and critically wounded by two enemy rockets that exploded just inches from his location. Although bleeding profusely due to the loss of his left arm and severe wounds to his right arm, chest, and leg, Specialist 4 Wetzel staggered back to his original position in his gun well and took the enemy forces under fire. His machine gun was the only weapon placing effective fire on the enemy at that time. Through a resolve that overcame the shock and intolerable pain of his injuries, Specialist 4 Wetzel remained at his position until he had eliminated the automatic weapons emplacement that had been inflicting heavy casualties on American troops and preventing them from moving against the strong enemy force. Refusing to attend his own extensive wounds, he attempted to return to the aid of the aircraft commander, but passed out from the loss of blood. Regaining consciousness, he persisted in his efforts to drag himself to the aid of his fellow crewmen. After an agonizing effort, he came to the side of the crew chief who was attempting to drag the wounded aircraft commander to the safety of a nearby dike. On swerving in his devotion, his fellow man, Specialist 4 Wetzel, assisted his crew chief, even though he lost consciousness once again during this action. Specialist 4 Wetzel displayed extraordinary heroism in his efforts to aid his fellow crewmen. His gallant actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Army and reflect great honor upon himself and the armed forces of his country. Okay, so I'm glad we got to talk to him. I twice, and he's getting old like the rest of us, and sometimes we have good days, sometimes we get really bad days occasionally too. And I had 2 chances to meet him, and both times he was sick. So hopefully next time, the next time will be a charm. I get to meet him personally.